Hi everybody, it's a train going by. It's Sunday morning. I'd intended to have the guard railroad already out running it, but it's a few little showers in the area. Going to stop here a little bit. What I wanted to show you, while I'm standing on the porch, I'll zoom in on the pond. You notice that the lilies are all torn up. Unfortunately, it looks like we've got another raccoon invader, and after the fish. I think that the fish all survived, but I've got a cover that I made a couple of years ago that I'm going to put over the pond, and I'm going to have to cut down the cattails to do that. 2020 actually trapped and relocated 3 raccoons. And I'm probably going to have to do that again, but I'm too busy the next 3 weeks to do that. I'll actually be gone 2 of the weeks. So when I get back mid-October, I may get the trap out again. But until then, we'll put the cover over the pond, and we'll put the bird feeders in at night too. So hopefully it'll clear up pretty soon, and I'll run some trains for you. The rain's just about ended. So this is what it looks like now. You can tell the fish are really skittish, hanging around toward the bottom. I just fed them, and usually they would come right up. You can see that the lilies are pretty shredded. I'll insert a picture here of what it sort of looked like recently. They had died back a little bit with the shorter days, but you get the idea of what they looked like, how much coverage we actually had before the raccoon invaded. But you know, I've got that big green area behind my house. We're on the edge of town, and so it's hard to keep raccoons out. So let's run some trains. Rain's almost over. We'll start getting everything out. Well, I'm staging the train, and they got at least 1 fish. Here's some scales. They either count 6 or 7. We had 8. They move around so much it's hard to catch. First time the raccoon came, we had 10, and they got 5 of them in one night. So I guess maybe we should consider ourselves lucky that we still have as many as we do. But, I'll put the cover on tonight after I cut the cattails down, after I run some trains, and that should stop them until I can get rid of the raccoon. All right, let's run some trains. Gonna do it inside today because it's been a breezy day, and the wind chimes and the leaves kind of make it difficult to hear. So we're starting out in the yard like we always do, and we'll run a couple laps, and I'll shoot some different scenes before we switch the lumber yard. I had intended to run longer today, but rain sort of caught me off guard. Wasn't really forecast for it, and that kept me from setting it up until later in the day. And then with having to mess with the fish and the cattails and everything, the day evaporated pretty quickly. Not running the upper loop. Yeah, like I said, I was sort of short on time. At the end of the video, I'll tell you about a project I've got going on. Or I'm getting ready to start, I should say. And I'll show you the cover over the pond. It's not the most attractive thing, but it works. Okay, so we're going to stop here, and I'm going to leave the camera right here because you can see most of what's going on from this angle. It's really about the only way I can do it other than carrying the camera around. So we're going to leave the caboose right here. And the camera is right against the fence, so I have to walk in front of it. This is Truett lumber. That was my paternal great-grandmother's maiden name. So I'm going to pull the loads. Since my layout is almost all on curves, and sharp curves at that, I usually have to help a couple. I body mounted all the couplers. Oh, right here is where when I pushed the car into place earlier, I derailed it and I forgot about it. So that's what I was doing there. You'll hear some other background noises in this video. My neighbor's little boy was in the backyard for a little bit, and their French bulldog took exception to me and barked for a few minutes. Luckily, it's not very loud. We have good neighbors. We're lucky to have good neighbors. That grass, ornamental grass, we had no idea it was going to be that big. It's beautiful. I wish it was about 2 feet tall instead of 5 feet tall. That plant with the flowers in front of it has gotten very woody stemmed. I was really surprised. It's more like a little bush than a flower. And you can see how much the plant in the foreground has grown up. We cut that way back, and it just took off again. Alright, so now I'm going to push the loads onto the gondola. Usually I put the gondola behind the engine when I leave the yard. That way it will be in front of the caboose when I switch the pulpwood loading facility. The engine doesn't really like that S curve going into it. But we're not going to do that today anyhow. I said just time ran out on me, and so we're just going to switch Truett lumber, and that'll be it. So now I'm going to go pick up the caboose, and then I will tack it onto the back of the train. The guys in the caboose probably wish we didn't put the wood chips right in front of them. That might be. Of course, we're not going to be going very fast. I don't think they have to worry about any wood chips blowing off on them. Apart from the yard tracks, this little short section of straight track in front of the pond is the longest section of straight track I have on the whole layout. Sorry for my squeaky chair. I'm trying not to move. Proudly wearing my Prairie Street, I think it's bar and tab shirt at in Fayetteville, Arkansas. That's where my daughter is the manager of. She really likes Fayetteville. Yeah. I just heard a Norfolk Southern train going by blowing. That's why I didn't talk for a second. I don't know if you'll hear it or not since I'm inside. So when the caboose gets around the corner, that'll be it for this video. I am going to talk a little bit about a couple things at the end of the video. That'll be all the operations. So as you can see, my trestle is getting progressively worse. There's pieces falling off of it all the time. When I first built it, I put it together with like JB Weld or something. I don't know what I was thinking. And then I didn't use it forever. It just sat in the box until I built this garden railroad. So I probably bought it, 10 or 15 years before I ever used it. But anyhow, I have plans to replace it soon, so I'll show you what I did Saturday. Well, it's the gosh, I don't know, third day of autumn. It's cool, cloudy, rained a couple times, but been staining trestle bents, and I guess you call them stringers, the parts that tie trestle bents together in the garage. Gonna be a project for sometime this winter, I think. I'm obviously not going to do it when it's 20 degrees outside, but nice 40 or 50 degree day, I'm going to replace the trestle in the garden railroad. Well, I would have liked to run more, but got stuff to do. I got a busy 3 weeks coming up. You see, we did get 3 cattails, so this is the cover I built. And last time I put it on, I just had a huge rock on top of it. But I just thought, why have a brick collection if I'm not going to use them? So I don't think that Raccoon is going to be able to get in there. If he does try, hopefully he makes so much noise that we hear him and we come out and chase him off. All right, so as you can tell, I can't run the train, at least without moving some of the stuff out of the way. But pretty soon, that tree is going to start dropping its leaves, and I'm going to have to put a net over the pond and the waterfall and everything anyhow. So that'll probably be coming up in a couple of weeks anyhow. So anyhow, everybody stay safe.